that's new. There wasn't a loading bar before that I remember. Croeso, Nosta, New Boreda, Maihin Bore, Studio Camraig, Idint Space Colony Studios. This is Stories from Seoul, the Gundog. I played the demo previously, and I tried to save halfway through, and it crashed. But I tried to play it on a small TV. Radian Duardiet, version in0.
Space Colony Studios.
Yeah, Space Colony Studios. Anyway, yeah, they're Welsh studio. That's why I was trying my Welsh, but you know, it's 5 in the morning, so it's not coming out the best. Took me a while to remember what update was. Anyway, yeah, there was an update when I went to load it up. I don't know when the update came out, but yeah, they told me when I mentioned them before that it was kind of hard to read on my little tiny screen, but there was going to be an update to change the text a bit better. But also that, yeah, like, I just thought it was kind of funny because it was like the same week that I had that problem with the Crimson Diamond saves where it would crash when I tried to save a save file with a number in it. So, anyway, as you can see, there's Dojo mode, Studio mode, Vivid mode. I like them all. Like, Vivid mode's not really what I'm going to do right now because, you know, it's... I'm trying to think what I've played with before. We'll go with Dojo mode just because that's what the default is. A boat. Oh, we have a viewer. Welcome, Croeso. Stories from Seoul, the Gundog. Made with Renpai 813. Unofficial for console by Astrolab Build. Yeah, that's the publisher. This program contains free software under the number of licenses. But yeah, version. Yeah. Hopefully it does not crash this time if it's saved. We got load. We have no save files. Anyway. Yeah, this is a really cool, it's coming out, just gonna check and see when it comes out. Yeah, I'm not seeing when it comes out. Their website hasn't been updated. It still says 2024, so I'll check their Twitter page. I'm pretty sure they have it there. February 2025, so yeah, right away. Does it say when it's coming out? 5 days, was posted 9 hours ago. So, yeah, so we're getting right on this. But yeah, I moved my, moved my PlayStation 4 out to where my 20-inch, you know, LCD TV is, so I can read the text a lot easier. I did that on the weekend. So, I figured I'd, play this. I was going to do it last night, but my friend invited me to play some dungeons and Elder Scrolls Online. So yes, Stories from Seoul. September 21st, Planetary Calendar 209. Following a raft of oppressive policies and crackdowns from the Earth-based government of the Solar Federation, the joint forces of the Martian territories and the Jovian Unified Colony Fleet rebelled. This conflict came to be known as the Solar War. Do I have to press X, or is it going to go automatically? Press X, okay. The war carried on for 3 years, but eventually the combined forces of the Martian territories and the Jovian Unified Colony Fleet managed to push the Federation military all the way back to the planet Earth. In the final days of the conflict, a pitched battle was fought in lunar orbit that would decide the war's in orbit aboard the Jovian carrier, JFS Kalike. Yeah, the last time I got like out, like through this whole opening and got to the ship and I was like, oh, before I explore, I'll save. And it crashed. I gave like an error in RenP and it wouldn't let me leave. Like, I had to close the app. All the game. You reflectively tighten your grip on your armored frame's twin flight sticks as another wave of vibrations reverberates through the cockpit. The creak of your new flight suit and your quickening breath are the only sounds you hear above the gentle hum of the frame's subsystems. I'm surprised they're giving them new flight suits, because, you know, this is the war, you know, like, they probably just fucking take, off the dead. For fuck's sakes, it's... As you squeeze the controls tighter, their plastic casings creak under the pressure. And they're plastic, made out of plastic too. You try to stay calm, knowing that these gentle vibrations are remnants of a huge shockwave that are buffeting the Kailuk, the carrier that you're stationed on. Each one is a near miss as an explosion tears through the space around the ship. You try to push the thought from your mind and focus on controlling your breathing, but you've already realized that their frequency means the Kailuk must be approaching the front line. Your squadron will be launching soon and will be engaging your first real sortie. Your first real fight, in fact. You feel your throat tightens. Simulations are as good as the real thing. That's what your trainer told all of you. Yeah, that's bullshit. We're not riding from Metal Gear Solid 2. But you know that pilots are supposed to have hundreds of hours of live flights and training exercises in real armored frames before they're allowed anywhere near the front lines. Of course, that didn't happen. Command had told you that the modern simulators meant cadets could graduate without the need for these exercises. Yeah, they're just pretty much pushing shock troops out. You overheard the rumors, though. I see it's, English United Kingdom spelling, which is, you know, Canadian as well. Through the Jovian colony fleet and lost a lot of pilots, and still wanting to keep pace with the Martian advance against the Earth, have resorted to fielding anyone that could fight. Yeah, shock troops. Your whole squadron is just like you, freshly conscripted from the Europa colony. You're undergone basic training, but there's almost all your flight training had taken place in the on the cruiser's journey from the Jovian space. Yeah. You wonder how the others are feeling right now, whether sound only incoming signal. Maintenance crew, Kalike 5. This is the flight deck. We're preparing your squad for takeoff, running last-minute diagnostics on your frame, activating all systems. Yeah, even on this, this is 20-inch. The systems is kind of half cut off at the bottom, so I don't know. Might just, you know, that's weird. Maintenance crew. Now. Alright, looks good to go. We'll run a few more checks, and we'll have you spacebound in a few minutes. Spaceborne in a few minutes. You're ready to show those Terrans who's boss. Well, I've been watching a lot of, you know, robot ninjas. Damn straight, ready to kick some ass. No. Your mind races, you try to think of a response that will convince not just the engineer, but yourself too, that everything is going to be alright. Instead, your mouth dries up and your heart feels like it's going to burst from your chest. The flight sticks creak more loudly as you squeeze them tighter, as at any moment now, you may snap them in half. Hey pilot, everything okay there? Comms green? After taking a few deep breaths, it eventually feels like you have a decorum of control again. You release your grip on the flight sticks and lean back into your chair. This is Kalite 5. Comms green, just a bit. Oh there, Kalite 5. Nothing wrong with feeling the jitters. Tell you what, what's your name, pilot? What's your first name, pilot? Oh god, what did I pick last time? You know, since it's a demo, we'll just put Norimon because we'll feel, if it doesn't handle... Yeah, it doesn't handle the, doesn't handle the, oh, I actually have it here. Okay. The, Exante Gu. Oh. Oh. Oh, we're in Naramo now. Get you here. Yeah, it cut off my head both times. No, no, it's not right. What the fuck? I think I picked Cassius for the first time, so that's what we'll go with again. Yeah, it cut it off again with done. I don't know. Maybe it wants me to, like... We'll just put Cassius, we'll just put Norm on. And we'll see if we put a space, if it cuts it out. Yeah, no. Okay, I'm gonna have to let them know that on PlayStation 4, it will cut off the name. Because it's coming out in 5 days. So, we'll let them know. Anyway, we're Cassius Normon. And we're Sheeter. Cassius Normon, is that right? Yes. Okay, and so Normon, first up, takes a few deep breaths for me, in and out. Nice and slow, you got that? You draw in one long measured breath and hold it. Then release it. Following the engineer's instructions, repeat this a few more times. After a while, you begin to feel your pulse slow and some of the tension in your body slip away. Still feel on edge, but feel slightly more in control. Alright, here we go. Now listen up, Vincent. You ain't got a thing to worry about out there. I don't think that's true, but... You just pacify me. Wait, I've heard it is that all the Terran's best pilots are taken care of between here and Mars. The way I've heard it is that all the Terran's best pilots are taken care of between here and Mars. Heck, Martians are the ones who've been leading the charge today, so they're the ones taking all the flack. Propaganda machines tell them this is our decisive strike against Earth's last line of defense. But between you and me, it ain't nothing more than a mopping up situation. Buddy of mine operations said as much in the canteen last night besides. You hear a dull ring over the comms and sit bolt upright in your seat, slouching back and exhaling as you realize there's nothing more than engineer striking the cockpit armor on your frame. This beauty here is a work of art. Terran frames ain't got nothing on her. She's all tuned up and ready to go. Yeah, my fucking joystick's plastic. That is such a way that it creaks like it's going to break when I grip it. Probably spent more time with this one than I have my own kit. Ha, don't you worry. That's not a glowing review, bucko. Remember what we've taught you in training and leave the rest up to her, and you'll come out of this just fine. Despite your startled reaction a moment ago, the engineer's confidence is infectious and it's starting to rub off on you. You adjust your position on your seat so that you sat up straight, and the soft hum of the frame system now seems more comforting than ominous. Just a mopping up operation, you think. Martians have done all the work, so we're sitting pretty here in our top-of-the-line frames. Yeah, nothing to worry about. So, Ensign Normon, how are you feeling about things now? Feeling good, ready to go. No. You almost managed to reply with something preppy and upbeat, but at last moment, the words catch in your throat. If this were a simple mopping up operation, why was it happening on lunar orbit and not nearer to Earth? Why were those explosions so close to the Kallite? Those questions churn in your head as you grip the flight sticks again. Hanson, you still in there? Comm still green? I said, how are you feeling? Sorry, comm's green. Yeah, I'm feeling good, ready to kick ass and everything, yada yada yada. You lie. Bless the spirit, kid. Just remember what I told you, look after that frame, and she'll look after you. Ain't no thing. Left alone with your thoughts, you tune back to the gentle hum of the frame. You watch the seconds tick away on the cockpit clock while you wait for the order to launch. The wait seems to be dragging on and on. You carry out a few last-minute flight checks, but as you already completed them when you board it, nothing has changed. Alright, pilots, listen up. This is Flight 1. We've been cleared for launch and are ready for immediate action. All frames will be taken off in the destination order. Attack formation, sound off. Flight 2, ready. This is Flight 3, ready. Flight 4 here, ready for takeoff. Yeah. Flight 5, confirm your status. Oh yeah, Flight 5, standing by. Keep it together, Flight 5. Flight 6. Flight 6, ready. Alright, Flight Squadron, move out. Flight 1 launching, Flight 2 launching, Flight 3 launching, Flight 4 moving out. I love how this graphics in this, like, it's just so, it's like this is just so, you know, like, old, like, I was playing Solar Striker on Game Boy. The roll call of your squadron as they depart from the ship and accelerate rapidly towards the combat zone sounds almost like a countdown to you. Once Flight 4 has declared launch, you know your time has come. You disengage restraints and prepare yourself. Flight 5, launching. Shows you slam the flight sticks forward for maximum thrust. Flight 5 abort launch, cut thrusters. Flight 5 abort launch, cut thrusters. Yeah, we forgot to distance. Enter your instructions barely register in the fusion as you're jerked around the cockpit. Your helmet slamming the control panels. A brief moment of thrust throws you back into your seat before you whip forward again. Warnings flash all over your monitors and sirens alerts sound from all over the cockpit. Flight 5 abort launch, and cut thrusters. Takes a few seconds for you to comprehend engineer, but once you do, you quickly pull the flight sticks back into the neutral position. Rover frames engines dies and your cockpit regains its previous stillness. You wince with a metallic taste of blood fills your mouth. Alright, Flight 5, hang tight for a moment. Your frame's restraints didn't accept the disengage command, so you're still attached to the collect. We're going to need to run a diagnostic. Shouldn't take too long. Slump in your cockpit's chair and exhale deeply. Your heart's still pounding a million beats per minute and your lips stinging. Continue to slow your breathing as you listen to the still open communications channel from the maintenance crew as they work to get your frame released. Yeah, I still say this is Flight 5, you know, sentience. Hey, yeah, looks like the restraints disengage command didn't register. Yeah, Unit 5. Alright, yeah. Get Unit 6 out. No sense waiting for this one. Okay, start the diagnostic and review if necessary. Flight 6, launching. Let them go. Ooh, soon. What do you mean hardware fault? We've checked this 10 times since Mars, at least. Who was assigned Unit 5? A home port. Fine, right, shut down the system and run the diagnostic again. I want this frame up there in the next 5 minutes. Flight 5, we're going to shut down your frame systems for a moment so we can run diagnostics. Stay ready though, we'll have you launching soon. Flight 5, understood. Ready and waiting. Randomly jumps to like 2 years, 7 days. As your cockpit fades to darkness again, the release the light. The flight sticks and suddenly you realize how long you've been clenching your fists around them. Surprised they didn't break. You flex your fingers and roll your shoulders, exhaling again as you begin to hear the muffled sounds of engines. Ears working on your frame's restraints. Staring at the dead monitor, you slowly begin to smile. This is what you wanted, wasn't it? Spent long worrying about the mission that you've thrown up twice in the past 24 hours, and now it looks like it was all for nothing. You got what you wanted, and you're safe. So if I picked, you know, rearing to go and ready to go, like, would it hit this plot have been different? Safe as you could be strapped outside a military carrier and an inactive armored frame anyway. You smile wide inadvertently at the thought. Getting shot down in an inactive frame still in its restraints. You become a cautionary tale for engineers and pilots throughout the entire Jovian colony fleet. Your mind turns quickly to the rest of your squadron. When they returned, you'd be a laughingstock of the entire Clyde. No, I think, like, it's not my fault. Like, it's a hardware error, apparently. Pilot who spent their entire first mission stuck in the dark cockpit. You dodged a bullet, but you'd never. Clyde 6. This is Clyde 6. They've cut off the flight path. There's more. There's a whole squadron of carriers coming in from E-Field. Clyde 1, they're going to cut you off from the fleet. Clyde 6's signal disappearing as you sit bolt upright as you begin pressing buttons trying to activate your cockpit's main monitor so you can see what's going on. However, with your frame system shut down remotely by the maintenance crew, you can do nothing but sit in the dark stillness and listen to events unfold. Clyde 6, respond. Clyde 6, what's going on? How many carriers are coming in from E-Field? Ma'am, Clyde 6 signal has been lost. It's not responding. He's hold it together, Clyde 4. All units form up. Defensive formation on me. Said all units, Clyde 2, don't break formation. Ma'am, they're firing at us. They're firing. There's so many of them. Oh god, ma'am, help. Instant your communication channel is flooded with cries of terror and panic. You hear your squad mates, your fellow pilots, exclamations of fear as this unexpected enemy force bears down on them. Screams and yelps, wails and howls fill your head as you sit powerless in the dark confines of your cockpit. Hey, who's out there? Engineering, hey, get me ready. Let me help. Get me ready to launch. Engineering. They're getting killed up there. I need to go. Now. You shout demands to get your frame ready for launch over the channel, but they are met with no response. In the dark of the cockpit with your controls unresponsive, you can't be sure whether this channel is closed or if no one's listening, with all the attention turned to receiving the battle damage units from your squad. Listen to me. Anyone, get me out of there. You desperately begin attempting a manual override of your systems, but find that nothing responds to you. Yeah, the Polite 5 is doing this like it's, it probably sensed our, terror and shit, and wouldn't let us go. The only spark of life that you can glean from a frame is a small diagnostic progress bar. I need to be out there. Anyone, hey. One last desperate attempt, you begin hammering on your cockpit walls, hoping to get the attention of engineers you could hear outside earlier. Yeah, it's kind of pointless to go out there. Like, you're not going to do anything. You can't help anything. You're just going to get killed too. Entire time, the chaos of combat out in space is narrated in your broken fragments of radio chatter. There's 3, 4 on me. I've lost my shield. I can't shake them. They're everywhere there. The line of retreat's totally cut off. We can't go back to the ship. Ma'am, what do we do? What do we do? Stop panicking and form up. 3 and 4 on me. We're going to punch a hole through the formation end. Ma'am, come on in, ma'am. Oh no, oh god. Oh. One by one, your squad signal disappears and the cacophony of panic disappears, replaced by the gentle hiss of static. You stop hammering on the side of your cockpit as the last voice is cut off. You're drenched in a cold sweat now, and your empty stomach feels like a rock has sunk to the bottom of it. You lean back and stare blankly ahead. This is Polite 5. Ready for takeoff. September 21st, Planetary Calendar 209. Despite last-minute reinforcements for the Solar Federation from their headquarters on Earth, the battle above Lunar is a victory for the joint Martian and Jovian forces. This would be the final battle of the Solar War. Having lost their last stronghold on Lunar, the Solar Federation would agree to a ceasefire and sign an armistice to end hostilities, and uneasy peace fills the solar system. I wonder when we started calling the moon lunar, or if that's just a colony. Because, we're pretty bent on calling, the moon moon and the earth instead of Terra. With the conflict between the Solar Federation and the Martian-Jovian alliance concluded, the Polite and her crew soon returned to the Europa colony near Jupiter. Relatedly, with Jupiter, I think I mentioned this last time, my youngest cat, is named Neptune, and her sister was named Jupiter. She actually had 4 other siblings. One was Saturn. I don't know the other 2 because they were adopted before I saw them post it. But yeah, her sister was named Jupiter, and I kept Neptune's name. They probably didn't keep Jupiter, but Neptune was quite adamant, like she knew her name, so she's Neptune still. April 19th, Planetary Calendar 214. April 19th was Minnow's birthday, my late cat. The reduced need for pilots away from the delicate space between Earth and Mars saw Ensign Norman reassigned to security detail aboard various Jovian ships. She is eventually promoted to lieutenant. 4 years have passed since the battle above Lunar. Jovian colony fleet, fearing fresh aggression from Earth, has increased patrols near the colonies after picking up unusual signals coming from the further out in the solar system. The patrol ship JFS Gundog is dispatched to support the JFS O'Brien in its investigation of these signals. Jovian space, aboard the Jovian patrol ship JFS Gundog. Oh, it's in color. I was expecting it to be the green. That's what we picked. As the rumble of Gundog's engines roaring to life reverberates through the ship, you clench your fists. for 4 years, and to this day the sensation of tremors, whether they're stopped ship engines, docking clamps, or weapon drills, still ties your stomach into knots. Bad trait for a ship's security officer. So we're basically Odo. Shake your head and exhale slowly, taking a moment before stowing the last of your possessions, and pushing the door closed. You feel the click as it locks into place, and the exterior plastic paneling sits completely flush with its surroundings. Stepping back, you look around this room. Take another deep breath and hold it for a moment. Though it was far from your first posting as a security officer, you always felt the same sense of trepidation, if not anxiety. As similar as the ships were, they all come with their own unique crews and personalities, and with those come unique problems. Breathing, you take a look around the room, taking stock of your surroundings. Select the look button to examine your surroundings by selecting items of interest. Select it again when you're done. Standard cruise bunk. Once you've slept in one, you've slept in them all, though this one's nicer, one of the nicer ones you've been assigned to. Wall panel can be removed by jimmying it with a thin object. Crew members often stash contraband in there. Looks like this one's not been touched though. Yeah, you kind of know it. They kind of know it, so like why are they still doing it? To control the rooms, lighting from the bed. I keep my books here too. Currently reading the Tales of Cosmic Champions series. Using the directional pad. I thought I got, yeah, there we go. It's normal storage unit. I travel light, so mine only has clothes in it. The terminal lets you access the ship's computer. It's got a clock, a word processor, and even a calendar. I can access the records of my orders from here, but anything else I'd have to access the core, which is limited to those operations. Those in operations or command. I think that's it. Standard door with electronic lock and magnetic bolting system. The only way in or out unless you plan on getting creative with maintenance on this. You select the use button to interact with your surroundings, or by selecting specific objects to use. Select the button again when you're done. Nothing right here right now that I need, just my uniforms and some toiletries. Yeah, that kind of bugged out. I'll have to wait till I get to... Switch for the rest of the room is here. Should I use it? Yeah. I should be moving soon. There we go. There we go. I should get moving soon. Well, that's what I selected. Is this not working correctly, or is what? Did I just mess it up by trying to open the door, or is it because I got the lights on? What, the bridge? It looks like I've been instructed to report to the bridge to meet the captain. I haven't met anyone yet since my transport to the spaceport and ran late, and I just about made it aboard before launch. Select the move button to move to a different location from a list of options. Change your mind, select the button again. Crew members corridor. Step into the empty corridor and the door to your quarters gently hisses shut behind you. Its keypad gives a short series of beeps and you hear the lock engage. The dial front of the ship's systems is barely audible, otherwise you stood in total silence. The air is cooler outside of your quarters, and the corridor has a sterile lack of aroma. this has been the same on every ship you've been stationed at in this point, and it doesn't surprise you. I sat down, so I'm kind of a little bit further away from the TV, so the text is a little bit harder to read. Okay, so this is a Swift class patrol vessel, which means if I leave the quarter block, I'll be on the far side through a fair. If I go right towards it, I'll arrive in the control hub, and I can head to the bridge. I'll go back to my quarters. Now that I want to turn the lights off. There we go, it's working. Four sides to it there. You leave the crew block behind you and find yourself in a much larger corridor that stretches off to your left and multiple smaller corridors leading from it. To your right, the corridor leads to a large plaza-like space for the promenade. A very faint breeze coming from the left ruffles your hair and chills you slightly, and you hear the sound of human activity. From your right, you can hear the hum of the ship's engines more clearly now, as well as the occasional low, quiet, and whirring sound. Center's right portion of the thoroughfare will let me access to both sets of crew quarters and the mess hall, the hangar, and the central hub. From there, I can access the rest of the ship's areas. I should hurry up to meet the captain before I look around anywhere else. Yeah. I'm gonna look at that sign. That won't let me. The ship's hangar, since I am security detail, the only time I should be sitting there is when I'm clearing. But my daily checks on a larger ship, you see people coming and going constantly. So it's eerie how quiet this one is. Oh. Come on, Bucko, you can do it. It's probably easier with a mouse. But the joystick doesn't have the indicator, like, you know, the mouse indicator, like some games do. The mess hall, I don't imagine a ship this size has a cook or even kitchen, so it's probably just a Bendamat's unit. I wonder what could be down that way. Fire control, maybe? Yeah. Warning, low gravity. Central hub. As you enter the central hub, you hear a low whirring noise and the engine. For the latter, you can see the readouts above one of the elevators change, letting you know someone is using it as you travel to another part of the ship. Yeah, since I last played it, there was an update for version 1.01 versus 1.00, which is what I had. Looking around, you see the entrance to both the fore and off sides through stairs, as well as the corridor to the airlocks. These elevators will take me to the bridge where the captain will be. I shouldn't waste any more time. I'm the captain. I'm the only captain. Those that don't follow me elsewhere, I'm, my nickname from high school, my friend gave me is Captain, and I use it like everywhere for my name online. Okay, look. Most of the ship can be accessed from the two thoroughfares, but some areas, like the bridge, are situated on different levels and need to be accessed by elevator. There should be access for maintenance and ways around here somewhere, but those are usually only for emergencies. Yeah, I figured it'd be the same thing. That's the four side thoroughfare where this comes from, the crew's quarters, hangar, and the mess Hall are all down that way. Probably. Come on, I want to look at the store. That way leads to the aft of a ship. I'm not totally familiar with Swift-class ships, but at the least I know that the engine room is that way. Come on, go back. There we go. We're going to the bridge. I need to report to the captain, who at this point of the ship's journey should be stationed on the bridge. You make your way towards the elevators and press the call button. Step back and watch the indicators above each elevator, waiting for one to arrive. As you wait, your mind begins to wander, and you caught unaware as you feel something suddenly jab into your back, and a voice from behind you declare, "Hands in the air. Identify yourself." Posture stillness, snap back to reality, caught completely off guard by the voice behind you. Thoughts raise your mind as you try to figure out what's going on, and there's already another security is there already another security detail on board? It shouldn't be possible. As far as you know, you were the only one. Unless. And hands up in the air. Punk. You attentively raise your hands, palms flat and facing inwards, as whatever has been thrust into the small of your back is removed slowly, and you hear the person behind you take a step backwards, exhale, and begin to turn around. Lieutenant Normand, your security detail. ID 50254 JFS6. I'm on my way to meet the captain to... And expecting a gruff crew member, instead you're met with a bright and cheery officer making a turnaround with a large bright smile on her face. You're taken aback for a moment, as this isn't just any officer, this is Cassius. What are you? Cassie, what are you? I should have named myself Cassius. This is a mistake. I just went for what I usually name myself in games. Cassius, I've missed you so much. Oh, we're blonde, aren't we? I was hoping we'd be, you know, faceless MC. You big doofus, you should have seen your face when you turned around. You were all... Oh no! I love that, the face you make. I think you're in trouble. It's like you think playing with the big soldier will get you out. Playing the big soldier will get you out of trouble. It's so cute. And the Commander, Cassandra Quinn. You should have known, really. She's always been one for bad jokes and stupid pranks as long as you're knowing her. Less of a professional attitude and perchance her irresponsibility is the reason why, despite her talents, she's not commanding a ship of her own. So, a scale of 1 to 10, how good did I get you? You totally thought you were being busted, right? But you're being honest. Her playful nature is what attracted you to her in the first place. You've been dating for nearly 2 years now, but a lot of that has been over electronic mail or in letters. Your posting here have never lined up until now. I thought this was like a game where there was like other characters you could romance. Like I'm not gonna cheat. Fuck that. But I don't think Cassius and Cassie is a good combination for names for me to keep track of. Cassius, what are you doing here? I thought you were stationed on the Reliant. Starfleet dragging into this now. Never said you were being transferred. What happened? Well, the thing about that is, you might say that a disagreement with the head of operations on the Reliant led to a lateral trajectory for my career. Cassandra, please. Okay, so maybe when I came from time to change the ship's cybersecurity passwords, I couldn't be bothered to spend all day sitting in the computer core waiting for it to generate new codes, so I just changed all the existing passwords to a single digit. Replace your face and your hand, and the dull green groan rises up from the back of your throat. This isn't the first time you've heard a story like this. And maybe it turns out when they run the cybersecurity drills, they assume that the enemy has all the old passwords, they'll try to brute force it from there. And maybe that meant the ship was compromised in 0.5 seconds. But at least they found out I'd done it in a drill and not in a real engagement, right? Basically saved the entire ship in advance. I'm surprised you're all still even stationed on a ship. How are you not stuck back in a records room at Europa Colony right now? I probably shouldn't tell you this, but if I can't trust you, who can I trust? Turns out the mission was organized at really short notice, and the Gundog was the only ship available. The problem was that they'd been having issues with the crew, so they had to transfer some in short notice. Luckily for me, that I'd so recently been made available. That's weird, I only just been stationed on the Duke, so I shouldn't have been free to be transferred. That's weird. Yeah, you probably arranged this too, didn't you? You probably were like, my girlfriend is on the, on this, and you should send them here. Oh, you figured it out. I may have used one of my contacts from the academy who works in resources to transfer you over here. I'm pretty sure every known regulation you broke by doing that. Pretty sure you know every regulation you broke by doing that. Oh, what was I supposed to do? Get stationed on some tiny ship heading out to the middle of nowhere with no one I know on the crew? We haven't seen each other in months. Aren't you glad to see me? Of course I'm glad to see you. I missed you too, you know, it's been a long time. You don't become part of the Reliance Operations Department without some serious talent. I'm not going anywhere. Oh, you said you were on your way to see the captain, right? Have you had a chance to take a look around the ship yet? No, not yet. I was going to. Great. I'll show you around. I've been here a few days, so basically know the ship like the back of my hand. Where do you want to go first? I was on my way to see the captain. I felt the engine start up, so I know we're launching soon, and I thought that I should probably report in as soon as possible. Oh, don't worry about that. I've already logged you aboard, so it's just a formality now. Fuck off, Cassandra. Like, now I see why there's other romance options. Taking it upon yourself with my, business. Besides, Captain Bartholomew... I gotta get up and read this a little bit better. Besides, Captain Bartholomew's isn't exactly a stickler for procedure, so we can check out anywhere you want before you head up there. Well, alright, in that case, great. And I'm gonna get in shit for this, aren't I? It's gonna be the best tour you've ever been on. By the time you've seen every inch of the ship and met everyone aboard. It's been so long since we last saw each other too, you definitely need to take time to stop by my quarters and get reacquainted. Yeah, okay. I now access every area of the Gundog. Select the talk button to view who is available to talk to. If you change your mind, select the talk button again. Look around the central hub as Cassandra already begins to make her way to your first destination, waving at you to follow. Might be a small ship, you think, but now might be the perfect opportunity to learn its layout and familiar side to yourself of where you'll be spending your current duty. Plus, you admit, it wouldn't hurt to meet all the crew. Better get to know them sooner rather than later. Yeah, I'm going to the bridge still. Step from the elevator onto the bridge. It seems like it had been a pretty quiet atmosphere turns totally silent as the two women present who had previously been observing the screen turn to face you. Notify the captain almost immediately by her uniform, although you're given pause to wonder if you misjudged as she listens and straightens up and heads over to you with an air of disinterest. Other woman shoots you a look but remains seated at her station, quickly turning away when you realize you caught her looking your way. Quickness of reaction catches you off guard as she quickly returns to what she'd been doing before you entered. Hopefully Cassie's presence can thaw what you feel might be a cold reception. Lieutenant Cassie is Snorimon, entering the bridge and reporting for a femoral assignment. You declare, throwing a sharp salute to Cassandra, quickly following suit, with Cassandra swiftly following suit. Lieutenant Commander Cassandra Quinn, entering the bridge on accompaniment of Lieutenant Norman. Taken aback slightly as you realize you've hardly ever seen Cassie be serious about anything, even her position. Though she's had to talk with her silence, has always been dismissive or in a joking way. Caught off guard, so off guard that you almost missed the captain addressing you. At ease, Lieutenant Commander. You and Cassie both lower your salutes and loosen your posture slightly. There's a slight pause, for which you can tell it's the captain sizing you up. The formal assignment lasts a little longer than you are comfortable with until the captain releases a heavy sigh. Welcome aboard, Lieutenant. I appreciate your prompt appearance. Yeah, I wasn't gonna fuck around. Like, I was being, tempted to. No, I'm coming right to the bridge, where I'm supposed to be. You'll have to forgive me for not coming to formally welcome you to the Gundog when you first boarded. The order to depart was an urgent one, and we needed to head out as soon as possible. We wouldn't have left without you, of course. Yeah, maybe. And given word that your transport was running late, and the system notifies us when you were on board. So I made the decision to set sail as soon as we received you. Thinking about it, I was unusual that they hadn't been a formal onboarding process beyond the dock staff checking your ID and guiding you onto the Gundog. We'd not realized your rush, but now it was obvious. But it makes sense that this was an urgent dispatch. The ship would launch as soon as all of its crew were aboard. Not a problem at all, ma'am. I apologize for my tardiness. There's another pause before the captain responds. You can't help but feel a little uncomfortable, unsure whether the captain is solely deliberating something or engaging the conversation with as little energy as possible. Think nothing of it. These things happen. Anyway, Lieutenant, I'd like to take the opportunity to formally welcome you to the JFS Gundog. My name is Captain Maris Bartholomew's. I run as tight a ship as you expect, and I anticipate that you'll carry on your duties to the same standard. Yes, ma'am. Like, as tight a ship as you expect. Yeah, so if we expect it to just fuck around, that's as tight a ship as you're running. That's as tight a ship as I have to run. For experience, most of the onboarding procedures have involved greetings and speeches from the captain that have ranged from serious to almost ceremonial. In comparison, Captain Bartholomew's introduction is almost lethargic. Your cards, Lieutenant. Yes, ma'am. Item button is activated when you're able to use items that are in your inventory. In some cases, you will need to use an item to proceed, but others, whether you use an item or not is up to you. When possible, select the item button to open inventory and select the item to use it. To dismiss the inventory, select the item button again. Item. Security keycard. As security officer, it allows me to access almost anywhere or anything on the ship. Select it for a moment. We're taking it to a control panel near the captain's chair. You remain in position, not quite at ease, but not quite at attention. Watch, you enter some commands on the console before inserting your card in the slot. There's a sound of whirring followed by a series of beeps before your card is ejected and the captain takes it back. Selecting a function button, you now acts as a map for the ship, allowing you to move from location to another without visiting areas in between. If it happens somewhere in the way, you'll move to the location instead. If an event happens somewhere on the way. Also, for your current objectives and other important information, return the selected function button again. With Lieutenant Norman, you now have access to all areas of authorities befitting the ship's security detail. Responsibilities begin with immediate effect. Thank you, ma'am. Also have now authorized to take an appropriate electroshock weapon from the armory. If you have any further questions, then you know where to find me. Dismiss. The bridge is one of the few places in any ship where you can actually see out into space. When in combat, these windows are covered by blast shutters, and the crew rely on sensors and small cameras mounted on the outside of the ship. Captain's chair. Although the majority of the ship can be controlled by operations staff, there's a few select systems that only the captain can authorize, and they're done from that chair. You need a captain's clearance level to access them, though, so it's not like you can just sit down and activate them. Yeah, this is buggy. Exception of some physical control of the ship, the size of a Gundog can be controlled entirely from the bridge. Navigation, automated combat systems, and security measures. Name it, it can all be done with a few crew members in this room. Yeah, it's not responding. Like, I'm using the directional pad to have more control over up and down, left, right, and I'm having to press it, like, at least 2 times to get it to select. Exception of some physical controls, the ship the size of a Gundog is controlled entirely from the bridge. Yeah. I think that's it. Talk? I'll talk to Vanessa. Excuse me, Lieutenant. I'm currently on duty, but I would appreciate it if you did not disturb me. Lieutenant Lord. Lieutenant Norma is ship's head of security. Since I'm here, you can take the time to introduce yourself formally. Great, I got this. See you in 5. So you're the security officer Cassandra's been going on about. That's right, Lieutenant Cassius Norman. Pleased to meet you. Well, I'm Vanessa Lord. I serve on the bridge as part of the operations. Cassandra told me a lot about you. Is that right? What kind of? I'm disappointed that you're nowhere near the attractive as she made you out to be. That's bullshit. Alright? Well, it was too good to be true, that some dashing officer would be transferred here at the last moment. Instead, we've just got another flunk. Well, how is it you even got transferred here on such short notice? I was looking over records earlier, and you were mid-assignment on the Duke. Why would they transfer you instead of... Oh, well, hey, look at the time. I think your break's over, Lieutenant Commander Quinn. I think Vanessa needs to get back to her station. Of course, I hope it's not hope it's the start of a productive working relationship between the two of you. I'll catch you up later, okay? Rude. Talk to Captain Thomas. Yes, Lieutenant? Captain, when I received my posting to the Gundog, I was informed of my role, but I didn't receive the ship's brief documents. If I may, what's the Gundog's objective? We've been alerted by another Swift-class portal vessel, the O'Brien, with signals coming from the edge of our territory. Yeah, name it after Chief O'Brien. Miles O'Brien. O'Brien is currently on a solo patrol in outer Jovian space, so we've been sent to provide backup or support as necessary. Of course, if something were to attack the two Swifts, it's not as if they could put up much of a fight. Really, it's more of a case that we're there so that if anything does happen, at least one vessel will be able to get away to warn the colony fleet. I see. Oh, did I say that out loud? Yes, ma'am. Oh, I really do not give a fuck. Forget what I said. That's an order. Yes, ma'am. Okay, we'll talk to Cassandra now. Yes, Lieutenant. How can I be of assistance? Cassie, you're being respectful, Lieutenant Norman. Respectfully, Lieutenant Norman, I would appreciate if you addressed me as Lieutenant Commander Quinn. Ah, I see. We're in front of everyone. What's this? Jovian fleet data pad. Info. Armored frames are human machines used by different factions for the solar system as backbone to the armored forces, typically between 15 to 20 meters tall and operated by a single pilot. Armored frames are the weaponized version of forklift frames and proved to be instrumental in the outcome of the solar war. They were largely developed for space combat, but ground use variations have also proven their value. E-magazines, electronic magazines, digital publications that took the place of traditional magazines, colonies save material and production costs, containing the same information as normal magazines. They're downloaded from digital networks. Both spacefarers having subscriptions that allow their ships to download the latest issues whenever they go. Yeah, so there's even more issue with, lack of preservation. Electronic shock weapons, weapons used by ship security have been through hostilities and subordination, mutinies, etc. They fire barbed rounds that contain small batteries which disturb the shock once contact is made, utilized by ship security instead of conventional firearms due to their non-lethal nature and to remove the risk of depressurization. The electroshock weapons on the Gundog resemble an oversized revolver. What colonies stand for Taurus type space colony on the orbit of Jupiter's moon Europa, supporting roughly 200,000 people. It serves as the political center of the Jovian United Colony Fleet. Europa Cluster, the group of space colonies in orbit around Jupiter's moon. Europa colonies is the premier colony in the cluster. Extravehicular activity, also known as EVA, or as a spacewalk, any activity that takes place in space but outside of a craft. It could include repairs to the exterior of a ship or traversing the surface of an asteroid. Flight, the term used to refer to a squadron of armored frames. Gravity shell, the system built into a ship's structure that enables artificial gravity aboard a spacecraft. typically is weakest towards the exterior of the ship is not absent entirely from areas like hangars or launch bays. A gravity shell is too large and resource intensive to be built onto anything smaller than a ship. Higgs field distortion drive. That sounds like it's something that's going to come up. That's too small for anything smaller than a ship. Higgs field distortion drive. The breakthrough technology allows near space speed of light travel through the solar system. For more information on need-to-know basis, please contact your chief engineer. So I'm going to contact Miles O'Brien again. Jovian, the term used to refer to both colonists who live near Jupiter and anything associated with Jovian, unified colony fleet, a Jovian armored frame, Jovian soldiers, etc. Jovian fleet ship, abbreviated JFS, is ship prefix used for ships of the JCF Navy. Jovian colony fleet, abbreviated JFCF. The military fleet belongs to the Jovian United Colony Fleet. Jovian United Colony Fleet. Political entity made up of all the space colonies either in orbit of Jupiter or the Moon. The original setup was company towns where the inhabitants worked in heavy industry and resource harvesting on the colony. The colonists eventually rebelled with the assistance of the Solar Federation, became an independent entity under Solar Federation jurisdiction. Following the Solar War, it asserts independence and now entirely autonomous. Juno, the main model of an armored frame produced by the JCF. Named after the Roman goddess Juno, wife of Jove, the workhorse of the JCF, Junos are favorite for their utility, hardness, and ease of use and manufacture. Gundog carries 2 Juno, 3 is the latest version. And Juno is also the aim of Space Ranger, the newest, well, second newest now, Overwatch hero. I love her. I love her so much. She's so cute. She's so fun to play too. Formal name given to Earth's moon was settled by the Solar Federation. Active center of manufacture and e-commerce for the Solar Federation when they encompass the entire solar system, but following the Solar War has lost that position. Martian territories. Coalition of space colonies, states, and large-scale industrial operations based near Mars and the asteroid belt, originally financed by Earth-based industrialists. It later gained self-governance with Solar Federation systems. Following the Solar War, the territories asserted their independence and are now entirely autonomous. Type of engines that use controlled nuclear explosions provide thrust, typically used in addition to traditional fuel-based thrusters. When thrusting distance too small, require the Higgs field distortion drive. Nutrishakes and meal replacement comes in powdered form and can be added to water to make a beverage that can supply some of the vital nutritional requirements. Typically used in ships that are too small to carry entire voyages with the synthetic reproduction rations. So it's like carnation instant breakfast. Calendar. Related to PC, the calendar that takes over from Common Era, Anino Domini, probably taken up following the successful colonization of Mars. Sol, the short way to refer to either the entire solar system or just a Solar Federation, an Earth-based political entity that's prior to the Solar War, governed the entire solar system following its defeat of Battle Lunar, and it formally started control of territories, colonies, installations in Martian space, and beyond. So our conflict between the Solar Federation and the allied forces of the Jovian Unified Colony Fleet and Martian territories started PC-206 and ended PC-209, originally caused by disagreement between the Earth-based government and the Solar Federation and other factions. Regarding civil liberties and taxation, the war resulted in a loss for the Solar Federation. Synthetic reproduction rations, long-life ingredients made from hypoallergenic vegan compounds to imitate stable foods such as meats, vegetables, and various carbohydrates, able to be cooked in convincing approximation of most meals. Typical shelf life when unopened is 10 years. Terminal, a device that resembles a computer that relies on control on a central computer or mainframe for its processing requirements. Talk. Task. Okay, you're familiar with Gundog and our crew. Introduce yourself to Gundog's crew. Visit the armory. Select your duty sidearm. Visit the airlock. Visit captain's quarters. Visit Cassandra's quarters. Catch up with Cassandra. Visit the central computer. Visit engineering, visit the central room, visit fire control, visit the hangar, visit mess hall, visit sick bay, show Cassandra your quarters. And there's a map. So we've got the bridge where we're at. Yeah, I'm not gonna pay attention to this right now. This is only a demo anyway.